we could do a quorum call, please.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 32 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland remains in session. Let's go to, we've got Senate Bill 361. If the clerk could read the bill.
Senate Bill 361, Senator Hester, Election Law, Influence on Voters' Voting Decision by Use of Fraud.
Clerk will read the message.
By the Majority Leader, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, the House of Delegates
Majority
does not
Leader moves so be
receive...
considered the reading of the message. The message having been read is ordered journalized. If we could just pull up Senate third reading calendar number 72. Clerk will read the bill.
Senate Bill 15, Senator Watson, Child Support Driver's License Suspension for Arrearages and Court Orders.
All right. Senate Bill 15 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 15, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. We have a message from the House. This is number 10, yeas and nays. Clerk will read the message.
Message from the House of Delegates number 10, Senate bills passed by yeas and nays.
All right, we've got another one. This is number 11. Clerk will read the message.
Message from the House of Delegates number 11, Senate bills passed by yeas and nays.
All right. Before we go into the next order of business, we have a special guest. We have a special guest who doesn't know that they know they're special, but they don't know that there are special guests. I'd like to introduce folks to Jay Spry Jr., who has been working for the Department of Legislative Services for how many years is it now? 50 years, and this is the 50th session. So Jay has been doing this. This is his 50th session, which is pretty remarkable, and I believe has never been on the floor for a sine die. Is that correct?
No, 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years. Oh, okay, very good. Okay, the second time he's ever been on the Senate floor. Yes, no, but in all seriousness, we are so deeply thankful at this time. This is public service at its finest, and we just so appreciate your work, and thank you so much. Well, and the clerk, the clerk will read the resolution in full. Do we have it?
Be hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincere congratulations to Jay Spry Jr., Legislative Associate, in recognition of your 50th session with the Maryland General Assembly. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on the 7th day of April, 2025.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? If so, the clerk will take the call. To Mr. J. F. Spry Jr., congratulations and thank you for your wonderful service. Thank you, thank you. All right. What is that? Let's see. All right, we've got a conference committee report. This is Senate Bill 376. Clerk will read the bill.
Senate Bill 376, Senator Kramer, Health Facilities Delegation of Inspection Authority, Nursing Homes.
All right. Let's see. Let's recognize the chair of the conference committee.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The conference committee worked out the differences. We are now going to be getting some significant reports from the Department of Health with regard to how they are dealing with the backlog of nursing home inspections. I move the committee report.
All right, the Chair of the Conference Committee moves for the adoption of the Conference Committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Conference Committee report is adopted. Are there any, Senate Bill 376 is again before us on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 376 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. All right. Let's see, that's passed already. Let's do one of these recedes. We've got House Bill 702.
House Bill 702, Delegate Kaufman, County Board of Education,
Clerk
Special
will read the
Education.
message.
By the Majority
The
Leader,
message
ladies and
having been
gentlemen.
read is ordered journalized. Recognize the chair of the committee. This one's been
We move to not concur and
All right.
request that the House recede. I'm sorry. No, wait.
We would like,
I have the paperwork here. I apologize.
yeah, just double check. I believe the
Yeah.
chair would like to reconsider the vote by which the bill passed on
Yes,
third
that's
reading.
exactly what I meant.
All right. Any objections to the chair's motion? Without objection, the motion carries. Chair, I believe, also would like to reconsider the vote by which the amendments were adopted.
That is absolutely correct, Mr.
Okay.
President.
Without objection, so ordered. And believe there's also the motion to withdraw the committee amendments.
Yes, very much so.
Without objection, so ordered. All right, House Bill 702 is again before us on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 702, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. All right, we have another one. This is House Bill 1007.
House Bill 1007, Delegate Wells, Disability of Life Insurance Medical Information. By the Majority Leader, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, the House of Delegates refuses to concur in the Senate amendments and respectfully requests the Senate recede from its position by order. Sylvie Seegert, Chief Clerk.
All right, let's recognize the chair of the committee. I believe the chair may have a motion to reconsider the vote by which the bill passed third reader.
The chair does have that motion, please, to reconsider the vote. Yep.
Any objections to the chair's motion? Without objection, the motion carries. The chair, I believe, also has the motion to reconsider the vote by which the amendments were adopted.
We would like to do that.
Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. The chair, I believe, also is moves to withdraw the committee amendments.
Move to withdraw the committee amendments.
Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. House Bill 1007 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1007 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Let's take up, we have House Bill 222. 222.
House Bill 222, Delegate Stein, Public Safety, Fuel, Gas Piping Systems, Corrugated Stainless Steel, Tubing Prohibitions and Study.
All right, recognizing the chair of the conference committee. Yes, on the conference committee report.
Yes, we've got that conference committee report. The bottom line here, Mr. President, there was just between the House and Senate, like there was a couple of words missing that needed to be incorporated, and we resolved that, and we were able to deal with that in a conference committee report that you have in front of us. So with all that said, I'd move for the adoption of the conference committee report to correct that two words that were missing in the exchange between the House and Senate.
All right, chair moves for the adoption of the conference committee report. Any discussion, any objections? Without objection, the conference committee report is adopted. House Bill 222 is again before the Senate on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 222 is on third reading for having received a, come on computer, received a constitutional majority is declared passed. All right, let's go to concurrence calendar. This is number 17, Senate bills amended in the House. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 360, Senator Hester, revenge porn, civil action, and criminal offense.
All right, recognize the chair of the committee on the House amendments.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As passed by the Senate, this bill authorizes a person to bring a civil action for defamation per se against another who distributes a computer-generated visual representation of a sexual nature that is indistinguishable from the actual visual representation of a person. The bill also expands the existing criminal prohibition against revenge porn to cover similar conduct. The House amendments strike those provisions of the bill as passed by the Senate and instead clarify the definition of visual representation as it applies to the criminal prohibition against revenge porn and authorizes certain victims of revenge porn to bring a civil action. JPR concurs.
All right, JPR concurs with the House amendments. Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 360 is again before the Senate on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 360 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 655, Senator Hester, courts, artificial intelligence evidence establishment.
Recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The House amendments make a technical correction to the liability provision to conform with the rest of the bill. The committee moves to concur with the House amendments.
All right, the chair moves to the adoption of the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 655 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 655 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 400, Senator Guile, residential child care programs, transportation companies.
Recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. We move to concur on Senate Bill 400, prohibits the youth transportation company from using visual impairment or physical or mechanical restraints while transporting children to a residential child care center. Move to concur.
All right, chair moves to concur with the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 400 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 400 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 842, Senator Beidle, electronic smoking devices, seizure and wholesale record keeping requirements.
Recognizing the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 842 authorizes the executive director of the ATCC to seize electronic smoking devices that are sold or offered for sale in violation of the business regulation article without a warrant. The bill also requires each ESD wholesaler, distributor, or importer to make specified records, keep those records for up to 6 years, and allow the executive director of ATCC to examine the records. The House amendments are technical and move to concur.
All right, chair moves to concur with the House amendments. On the amendments, any discussion? Any objection? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 842 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 842 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. All right.
Mr. President,
Yes, recognize
Yeah.
Senator from the 28th.
could I be recording the green on Senate Bill 842, please?
842 in the green. Any
Yes.
objections? Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take up report number 47. Report number 47. Clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 1222, Delegate Williams, Public Safety, Immigration Enforcement, Maryland Values Act, favorable with 2 amendments.
Recognizing the chair of the committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As amended, this bill requires certain state entities operating at sensitive locations to deny access to the public portion of the sensitive location to an individual seeking to enforce federal immigration law unless the individual presents a valid judicial warrant or exigent circumstances exist. The bill also requires the Attorney General to develop guidance relating to the immigration enforcement at sensitive locations. Finally, the bill requires governmental entities to develop procedures relating to the release or resale of personal records made available by the government entity. Mr. President, there are two committee amendments. One is technical, and then amendment number 2 strikes the bill as passed by the House and substitutes it for the amendments provided below.
All right. Chair moves the adoption of 2 committee amendments and the favorable committee report. On the amendments, any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the 2 committee amendments are adopted. Question now on the amended report. Any discussion?
Mr. President.
Yes, recognize the Senator
If
from
the
District
floor
4.
leader would
Senator may proceed.
yield for a question. So I just want to, we've had this discussion about this. We had a very lengthy debate in committee about this bill, and my understanding is that the original framework of 1222 is been stricken from this legislation. Is that correct?
So that is absolutely correct. The original framework has been stricken from this bill, and only the provisions for the sensitive locations and the guidelines for data privacy exist now.
So in its current posture, there is nothing that would require or any of our county elected sheriffs to not be able to work with ICE or the 287G program that are currently being utilized across the state. Is that correct?
This bill does not touch 287G whatever at all. So you're right. Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right. Question is on the favorable report as amended. Yes, recognize the Senator from District 6.
Thank you. Can I ask the question to a floor leader, Mr. President?
Senator may proceed.
Can I just follow up with the good senator from Frederick? Is there any other restrictions in this bill that prevents any of the sheriffs or any of those to do their job in any way?
It does not prevent them from entering into these agreements at all.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Senator. I recognize Minority Whip.
Thank you, Mr. President. If the floor leader could yield.
Senator may proceed.
Thank you for explaining, Mr. Chairman, some of what's happened with the bill, the amendments that take out the references to 287G. Delineating, there's a part of the bill, it talks about the Attorney General. So you got sensitive locations, and it lists several things that are sensitive locations. They can enter a sensitive location if they do what?
So if they have a judicial warrant, it's a public space that is not publicly accessible. Otherwise, like for instance, if it's like a lobby or something like that, they can go ahead and do that. But it's like, you know, a judge's chambers or, you know, a private place of a public
Right.
building, you need the judicial warrant.
I noticed a facility operated by the comptroller. I guess that would be the comptroller's office, but also some sort of tax location,
That's
like
right.
an SDAT type. Okay, all right. It also talks about and access to justice, I would assume, would be in a lawyer's office, maybe, or is it a courtroom?
So importantly for that provision, that is just that the guidance speaks to this. So so access to justice falls under the part of the bill that is that the guidance speaks to that, but there are no requirements for a judicial warrant for that, and there are no requirements for policies that have be developed under that. Just importantly, it's just the guidance that speaks to that.
Okay, and then as determined, any other location, oh, I see, as determined by the Attorney General requires special consideration for immigration enforcement activities. So, and then it says that the Attorney General should develop and publish guidance that informs the public and relevant state agencies about delineating between immigration enforcement within the public portions of sensitive locations and non-public or private portions. So the Attorney General has the ability to determine other areas that are sensitive, or it's just saying he has in this case he or she has the ability to determine what's a sensitive location, say in a courthouse. Is the lobby area sensitive versus the chambers? Is that what we're talking about with what he can determine?
So no, it's essentially that's the piece where there's non-binding guidance that applies to those entities. The Attorney General, obviously, the client the church or a private entity is not a client of the Attorney General, and so this piece is bifurcated. So this is just non-binding guidance for those entities.
For those entities to see what is considered So what's the reference to the Attorney General? Oh, to publish guidance
Yeah.
for them. I understood.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And then there's a lot of new language just walking through it here. And there is, okay, and the guy, so continuing on, I noticed the issue of verifying the identity of immigration enforcement agents and validating immigration enforcement documentation seeking specific individuals. I was going to ask, so the Attorney General is going to be helping folks to identify the papers of the ICE agents, but not necessarily the papers, you know, we don't want law enforcement messing with the papers of the people that they might be pursuing, correct?
That's right. I mean, I think it's non-binding guidance to basically know your rights. You know your rights, understand what can and cannot be done. It's non-binding.
Just an interesting irony that we're going to say we're going to help with the identity of the agents, but not we don't really want to help figure out the identity of the other folks. But I understand that's the point of that's the point of the thrust of the bill. Okay, and so really it just comes down to that, and then. Okay, and it's requiring schools to come up with a policy consistent with the same guidance we're talking about above it. Okay, all right. And then finally, back to the data piece, because I know that we had a debate about that probably, it feels like a month ago, but it probably was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So on the data, we're restricting ICE's access to data, but not in a public safety
So no, this is greatly truncated. This essentially says that those governmental entities, like those executive branch entities, those units of government, state and local government, have to develop policies that are that will protect to the greatest extent possible the personal information of Marylanders. But there's no hard and fast warrant requirement as we had in the prior bill. None of that exists in this bill.
Okay, so it's best practices for protecting people's personal data is really what we're requiring in this bill.
For them to develop policies consistent with that goal.
Okay, for agencies. Okay, okay, and I think to the end, then you would say that this bill is it about restricting ICE, or is it about sending a message that there's some guidelines in Maryland that people can understand and feel comfortable with?
So this is actually not specific to ICE. It's to any other entity seeking personal information from that the government has on our citizens, and so that applies not to ICE individually or solely, but to everyone. And it's mainly to get at those data brokers that are trying to sweep up that information, that private information of Maryland.
Okay, so any federal government entity or any outside entity, okay. And then going back to the other part of the bill, that is about restricting, it's not so much about, you would say at this point, restricting ICE from doing its job. Is it about sending the message to, what's the?
No, it's just ensuring that ICE does its job by getting a judicial warrant when you're going to go and pick someone up.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much for the questions and the answers. You know, Mr. President, I think it's good that there will not be a kind of an assault on a program that has really had tremendous success with processing people who are here illegally that then are arrested for crimes. I still maintain that all of this sort of, and with no disrespect to the committee that worked on this bill, but it's a lot of theater this session about illegal immigration, ICE, protecting people. We had a tremendous problem in this country, and still do, with way too many people that have come illegally, and a lot of folks that have behaved in a way or have committed some serious criminal acts. And we've now have a much more secure border. With this administration has done a very good job quickly of securing the border, and so we still seem to have this kind of desire in Maryland to say, well, we don't want it to be too secure, and I don't quite understand that. But I'm glad for the amendments that took out the 287G program. I'm still going to be voting no because I still think this sends the wrong message about about following the law and following our law and respecting our immigration law. So my vote will be red on this, and I appreciate the time and the answers to the questions.
All right, on the bill, on the adoption of the favorable committee report, any discussion, any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 1222 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. Recognize the chair of the committee.
Yes, I'd like to suspend Rule 24 to have 2 readings in one day.
All right, chair's moved to suspend Rule 24. Any discussion? Any objections? Yes,
Object.
recognize the minority whip.
Object to that
All right,
motion.
roll call. Clerk will call the roll on Rule 24.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 32 votes in the affirmative, the rules having been suspended, HB 1222 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. All right, let's see, we have a receipt. Oh, with 34 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1222 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. We have House Bill 1, House Bill 1. House Bill 1. Clerk will read the bill.
all right. House Bill 1, Delegate Abersall, Department of Transportation, Human Trafficking Awareness, Training and Response. See someone, save someone.
All right, House Bill 1, let's see, clerk will read the message.
By the Majority Leader, ladies and gentlemen. of the
Majority Leader
Senate.
moves to be considered the reading of the message, having been read as journalized. Recognize the Vice Chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. As passed by the House, this bill requires MDOT to develop and administer training related to human trafficking awareness. The Senate stripped from the bill amendments made by the House that phased in the training requirements and clarified that the training may be offered during regular work hours. JPR receipts.
All right, the Vice Chair moves that we reconsider the vote by which the bill passed third reading. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Any Vice Chair moves to reconsider the vote by which the amendments passed. Are there any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Vice Chair moves that we withdraw the committee amendments. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. House Bill 1 is again before us on third reading, final passage. Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Let's do calendar number 64 out of Finance. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 497, Delegate Stewart, Residential Child Care Programs, favorable.
Recognizing the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. House Bill 497 is similar to Senate Bill 400, which unanimously passed the Senate when the final intended destination is a residential care program. The bill prohibits a youth transportation company from using visual impairment or physical or mechanical restraint while transporting children to a residential care program. There are no amendments. I move the adoption of the
Floor moves
favorable
to the adoption
committee
of the favorable
report.
committee report. Any discussion? Any objection? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 497 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. I recognize the floor leader moves for the adoption, rule for 24.
Exactly. Move to suspend Rule 24 to do 2 readings in one
Any
day.
objections? Any objections? Without objection, the rule having been suspended, House Bill 497 is again before us on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 497 has received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 541, Delegate Gazoni, Department of Commerce, Nonprofit Organization, established, favorable.
Recognizing the floor leader, 28th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. House Bill 541 is an emergency bill that is identical to Senate Bill 365 that passed the Senate earlier tonight. There are no opposition. I move the adoption of the favorable committee report.
Floor leader moves
Mr.
to adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Does the floor leader move
I move to
suspend
suspend Rule
the rules
24
under
to
Rule
have 2
24?
readings. Yeah,
Any
same thing.
objections? Without objection, so ordered. Rules having been suspended, House Bill 541 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the rule.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. All right, we are at Senate, 65. 65. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 293, Delegate Pippi, Criminal Procedure, Child Victims Testimony, and Child Abuse Cases.
House Bill 293 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 293 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 618, Delegate Patterson State Lottery Internet Sales Subscriptions.
House Bill 618 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? Yes, recognize the Minority Leader.
Just a quick question for the floor leader, please.
I don't think the floor leader yields. Does the floor leader yield?
Does anyone know if the opposition was removed to this bill?
Recognize.
Yeah, there was no opposition to this. This is just
Something from the convenience store operators? That
no.
was
Actually, quite frankly, what I heard from the State Lottery Commission is that that they had no opposition to it because the retailer's already doing it, and this is going to provide more revenue for them.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
course.
Thank you.
Thank you,
President,
sir.
I can help
617.
answer that if you want.
All right, 618 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? Not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone should change their vote, explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 618 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 704, Delegate Wyville Higher Education Maryland Graduate Professional Scholarship Program.
House Bill 704, third reading, final passage. Any discussion? Not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone should change their vote, explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 704 having received constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 747, Delegate Guyton Environment On-Site Wastewater Requirements for Inspection.
Mr. President,
Yes, third reading, recognize the Minority Whip.
I have an amendment.
Senator has an amendment. Page will collect and distribute the Senator's amendment. Let's recognize the Majority Leader. Maybe wants to make a motion.
Mr. President, do I need to present the amendment to ask for it to lie over under the rule?
Senator would move to lay the bill over under the rule. Objection? No objection. Motion carries. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 1035, the Speaker, Electricity and Gas Emissions Reductions Right.
All right, House Bill 1035 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 34 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1035 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 1036, Delegate Wilson, Public Utilities Generation Stations, Generation Sitting.
House Bill 1036 on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 35 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1036 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 1037, Delegate Crosby Energy Resource Adequacy and Planning Act.
House Bill 1037 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 40 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1037 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 1111, Delegate Fraser Hidalgo, Public Utilities Solar Energy Generating Systems.
House Bill 1111 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 43 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1111 have received constitutional majorities declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 1316, Delegate Wollock, Primary and Secondary Education, Youth-Centric Technology.
House Bill 1316 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1316 have received a constitutional majority declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 1375, Delegate Stein, Vehicle Equipment Portable Vehicle.
House Bill 1375, third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1375 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 1467, Delegate Howard, Local Finance, Special Tasking Districts.
House Bill 1467 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1467 received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Madam Secretary, is that? No. All right.
Mr. President?
Yes, recognize Senator from 37th District.
House Bill 111 from red to green.
111, red to green. Any objections? Without objections, so ordered. Minority Leader?
House Bill 1111, red to green.
1111, red to green. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. President,
Yes, recognize Senator, 22nd.
House Bill 1, like to be recorded in green.
I'm sorry, which one?
House Bill 1?
1.
Yes.
Red to green.
Green.
Red to green or just green?
Just green.
Just green. Okay, great. All right. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Senator from the 38th.
HB 111, red to green, please.
Red to green. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. All right, we're going to go to House Bill 860. It's a conference committee. 860, conference committee. Clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 860, Delegate Buckle, Public Nuisance, Common Carriers, Damage to Public Infrastructures.
Recognizing the chair of the conference committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The conference committee met and we included taxi cabs. Move the conference committee report.
All right, chair moves the conference committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the conference committee report is adopted. Are there any, House Bill 860 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 860, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. All right, we've got a yeas and nays. This is calendar 12, yeas and nays. Clerk will read the calendar.
Message from the House of Delegates, number 12, Senate bills passed by yeas and nays.
All right, bills are passed by yeas and nays. We have an announcement. Clerk will read the announcement. Do you have this?
The President makes the following appointments to the Legislative Standing Committees pursuant to Senate Rule 18A1. The appointments are effective as of April 7th, 2025. Budget and Taxation Committee, the Committee on Education, Energy, and the Environment, the Finance Committee, Judicial Proceedings Committee, and the Rules Committee.
All right. These are interim committees for review centers. They are available on the floor system. We also have an announcement by the Senate Minority Caucus.
Announcement by the Senate Minority Caucus. The Senate Minority Caucus met on November 14th, 2024, for the purpose of electing the minority floor leaders for the 25 legislative session. The following members have been selected: Minority Leader, the Honorable Stephen S. Hershey Jr., District 36; Minority Whip, the Honorable Justin Reedy, District 5.
Message having been read is adopted. All right. Let's see. Okay. We may have some interruptions. We may have a few interruptions as we're waiting here. It's we're in the last 10-minute stretch. This is the best and most exciting time of the year, right? These last 10 minutes is when everyone look, I want to just really, truly, this has been a heck of a year. We are so blessed to have kind of the best Department of Legislative Services team on the planet. They are remarkable. I want to give a special thanks to Executive Director Vicki Gruber, to Lori Mathis, the Director of Operations and Support Services, Ryan Bishop, the Director of Office of Policy Analysis, Dave Romans, the Director of Fiscal Policy Analysis, Mike Powell, the Director of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability. If we could give them a big round of applause for the Department of Legislative. Also, this is one the Minority Caucus certainly is most uses this service the most. Our incredible amendment office and bill drafting offices. That's Effie Reif, Kelly Dinkow, Michelle Purcell, and Carol Mim. They are just wonderful, doing incredible work. We also have Fiscal and Racial Equity and Impact Notes. This is Laura McCarty, Leslie Cook, Jennifer Botts, and Michelle Davis. Huge thank you to them. Committee staffing, we have Ryan Necessary and Dana Tagliacod, who do incredible work managing our committees. DLS Finance Team, Jim Goff and his entire team, keeping all the money in place. Human Resources with Sasha Vasquez and staff, keeping us all together. ITO, Gene Bryce and his staff, including Heather Kohler, Karen Cassidy, Ralph Mattos. We are incredibly thankful to each of them. All right, we just so happen to have a conference committee report. This is Senate Bill 828. Clerk will read the bill.
Senate Bill 828, Senator Smith, Immigration Enforcement, Sensitive Locations, Access Guideline and Policies.
All right, recognize the chair of the conference committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This amendment conforms this Senate Bill 828 to the same bill we just passed, 1222. It's in the same exact posture.
Same exact posture
Move
as
the
one we
amendment.
just did. All right, on the conference committee report, any discussion, any objections? Without objection, the conference committee report is adopted. The bill, Senate Bill 828, is in front of us for third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 34 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 828, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. All right, we got, well, a few more folks to thank. Let's see, we've got, we didn't do the DLS facility teams because they're wonderful. So even if we did it, we should do it twice. We got the facilities team and print shop, DJ LaSalle, Debbie Feely, James Dorsey, Mike Forrester, Javon Clark, Cliff Curtis, Linda Hayes. This team is amazing. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. They are phenomenal. They do have a few Cowboys fans on staff, We won't hold that against them. But truly, all our DLS staff, analysts, editors, and managers, we deeply, deeply, deeply thank you. It has been just a heck of a year, and we are so incredibly thankful. I also want to thank DGS. They've been really doing a great job trying to maintain. This site has been, we've been redoing this longest continuously operating state house in the country, and it takes an incredible team. We have Phil Palazzola, Diane Randolph, Chris and James, Dave Shackelford, Colin Buchanan, and Tanya in the Miller building. Colin is in the James and Miller buildings. If we can give them a huge round of applause, the DGS teams. We have our wonderful, wonderful Sergeant-at-Arms team. We have James Herod, Steve Stewart, Lieutenant Laura Beck. We also have our incredible session troopers who have joined us, Matt Milich, Quincy Pinkney, Ashley Sabach, and Eden Barrientos. We have the assistants to the chairs for all of our committees. This is Lamoria Stanton, Sandy Pop, Tammy Kraft, Kim Landry. Thank you, committee. Thank you. Oh, we just so happen to have another conference committee report. This is Senate Bill 361. Clerk will read the bill.
Senate Bill 361.
Recognize
Senator
the
Hester, Election
chair of the conference committee.
The House and the Senate have finally agreed on a way to regulate deepfakes in elections. I move the conference committee report.
All right, move the conference committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, conference committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to? Senate Bill 361 is on third reading for final passage yet again. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 39 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 361 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Yes, recognize the minority leader.
Just a quick thank you, if I could, on behalf of the Senate Republican Caucus, to thank our first citizen again, Teresa Goddard.
Yes, Teresa.
Megan Miller and Dave Myers, who have been our staff for the entire caucus. So thank you all very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for your great work. We have committee counsel for each of our incredible committees. Each of our committee so April, Stacy, and Devin and Triple E. Jamie, Josh, John, and Shamari on JPR. We have Nathan, Amber, David, Lisa on finance. And Erica, Philip, and Deneen on B&T. They are just phenomenal. Of course, our Office of the Secretary of the Senate, Nicole, Ronnie, Andrea, Caitlin, Nick, Rochelle, Sean, and Jennifer. We do happen to have one more bill. We have one more bill. We've got, this is a concurrence calendar here. 16, concurrence calendar 16. It all starts and ends with AAA. It all starts and ends with AAA.
Senate Bill 764, Senator Zucker, State Designation, State Mineral Chromite.
Yeah,
all right,
thank
questions
you, Mr.
on the House Amendments.
So this bill designates chromite as our state mineral, Senate Bill 764. And the House Amendments adds the Maryland Orange Crush, which was created first in Ocean City in the fall of 1995. And so this is an economic development tool. The Department of Commerce We had our ag department, Kevin Addicks, testify. So with that, Mr. President, we took a vote in the committee and it passed unanimously to move to concur with that House amendment. So with that, Mr. President, I'd move to concur with the House amendments. Yes.
All right, Chair
The
moves,
Orange Crush
Chair moves that we
amendment.
concur with the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 764 is
Mr.
back
President.
before a slightly different. Recognize the Senate from District 4. Be careful. All right. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the question. What will happen? Why don't we call the roll? That would do it.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 764 has received a constitutional majority to declare passed. All right, last and not least, I have to thank my incredible team. They make all of this possible. They are the greatest in the business. I'm so deeply thankful for them. Our committee analysts, Beth Call, Nyla Lundy, Kamal Clark, and Julian Anderson. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then, of course, and I know she's listening, I'm positive she's listening, she has had the flu, which has just been so awful. I think this is probably the first Senate 90 die she's ever missed. Joy Walker, who, please, remotely, Joy, thank you. We have Sally, Jody, David, Ross, Robin, Casey, Katie, Tyler, Ashley, Zana, Chris. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you to each and every one of you. This has been a heck of a year. We're gonna work through it, and we're gonna recognize. Double checking. No, nothing there. Any other last minute pieces? Recognize the majority leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate of Maryland stand adjourned, sine die.
Without objection, so ordered.